After 10 long years, a new Republic gunship is finally here, and it's not what a lot of us expected, but I'm really happy with the end result. This is LEGO's take on the Coruscant Guard version of the Republic gunship, a version of the gunship we've seen just a handful of times in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And I think this set is almost perfect. There's a few things that's holding it back from that, and I'll get into that in the video. I was absolutely fortunate enough to find this set at my local Learning Express store with the rest of the September wave, albeit everything but the Ghost. I still couldn't even believe it walking back to my car with the set. Without wasting any time, let's get into the minifigures. You get 5 in this set, 3 of which are clone troopers, and 2 of which are some familiar senators. The most controversial figure to come in this set is the new Commander Fox. Do I think he's as bad as people are making him sound? Absolutely not. I think some of it was a little blown out of proportion, but I do understand some of the criticisms with him, and there are some inaccuracies with the figure worth pointing out. He unfortunately has a printed on waist cape like the rest of the modern clone troopers have in the past year, and there's actually some inaccuracies in the printing on his chest plate. That bottom part underneath the breastplate is actually supposed to be red. That is the only part that's supposed to be white. Not the biggest deal or the end of the world, but it is inaccurate. There are some simple things you can do to make this Fox look way better though. I think the best thing you can do is just replace him with the GCC Fox, but I understand that's unobtainable for a lot of people. Simply just throwing on any waist cape to this Fox makes the figure look so much better, and a lot of waist capes like this one from GCC actually covers the printed on one, so you don't even see it on there, and it makes the figure look so much better. If that inaccuracy in the printing on the chest bothers you, you can go pick up a legs and torso set from Fig Fab Labs for about $14. Combine this with a waist cape and the helmet from the set, and you've got a much better looking figure. So there are options for you out there, and some that aren't very expensive at all to fix this figure. Now into the 2 shock troopers you get here, and I think they look absolutely fantastic. I would go as far to say they're probably the best looking figures in this entire set. I'm so happy with how they came out. The detail and the printing on them is fantastic. They're accurate to the shock trooper, and I see absolutely no flaws with these figures. It's great we got 2 of them, but I think for the price point they're charging for this set, and similar to the ATTE last year, it would have been nice to get 3. All of the clones also have a standard clone head, no unique heads here. The 2 non-clone characters in the set are also fantastic. This Clone Wars version of Padme looks great. She's wearing that iconic vest she wore for most of the show. Her face printing looks great. I believe this headpiece has been used for her before for her hair. I also think it looks fantastic. I think it's a great looking figure, and she also has a dual expression head. Palpatine also looks fantastic. Not only does he also have a dual expression head, but his printing looks great. He's got that dress piece for the legs, and there's printing on the front and the back of it. Another great looking figure. It's always great to get another Chancellor version of Palpatine. Now, unfortunately, these are the only figures that come with the set. Like I said before with the shock troopers, I do think for the price point that they're charging, they could have at least included a few more clones. And 2 of those clones should have been some clone pilots. Yes, you can put the shock troopers up in the cockpit, and they actually look really nice up there for display purposes, and it's not also entirely inaccurate. We have seen standard trooper types flying gunships in canon. But to make this look proper, we should really put some pilots in here. These are 2 of the clone pilots that came in a micro fighter years ago. They have a great face print underneath, which is just the old angry clone head with a pilot visor. And these 2 figures look absolutely great up in the cockpits of the gunship. These are 2 easily obtainable figures. They're not very expensive to get compared to the Clone Wars version of the clone pilot from 2013. And it just gives you a more proper look for your gunship having 2 pilots up there. Now onto the amazingly red build itself. I think part of the reason this gunship is red is because LEGO brought this color back for some Ahsoka show sets. We haven't seen this dark red color in LEGO Star Wars in a while because the older version of it used to be extremely brittle over time. Hopefully this is an issue they've fixed with this re-release of it. But I'm extremely happy with the end result of the gunship we got here. At first, when I heard it was going to be a Coruscant Guard gunship, I was a little wary, and I kind of wish that we had gotten either a Munilus 10 one or a Wolf Pack or just a standard gunship. But having this red gunship in hand It looks so good. I love seeing familiar Star Wars ships in somewhat unfamiliar colors, like Poe's black and orange X-Wing and the Sand Speeder. This gunship has some extremely attractive angles and looks really, really, really nice. They captured the look of it very well in this one. You'll also notice it's a bit smaller than gunships of the past. I'm actually okay with this. I felt like older gunships were always way bigger than they needed to be. I love the detailing that they got from this one, from the printed tiles inside the cockpit to the white lines going across the doors. It looks great. There aren't a lot of features with this gunship, the main one obviously being the fact that the doors on the sides open. They've integrated these little grab handles you can grab with your index finger and your thumb to open either one door or both of them at the same time. I think they're nicely integrated into the build, and it makes it super satisfying and very easy to open the doors. Speaking of those doors, they did make a weird design choice with the tiles here to represent the little windows that the gunship has. Some of them are sitting on studs and some of them aren't, which makes it easy to misalign them if you grab the doors a certain way. Not the biggest gripe, but it would certainly become annoying having to adjust those every once in a while. Not sure why they did this. The main compartment in the gunship is actually decently sizable. I'd say you could probably fit 6 to 10 troopers in here pretty comfortably. And the door on the back opens up for ease of access for getting figures in and out. They also advertise on the box that these side panels open up, and they do, and they reveal a little compartment, but there is nothing in here, and there's nothing to put in here. I guess you could put more figures in here or make a little build to put in there, but the set didn't come with anything to put in here, even though they advertised this as a feature. There's also these little hidden storage compartments on the side here. These are perfect to stow the weapons of any minifigure you decide to put in the cockpit of the gunship. The only annoying thing about the entire build is the stud shooters on the wingtips. I don't know why they did this, and I'm assuming it was just to add play features for kids, but these gotta go. I highly recommend replacing these with a Lego dome piece, or you can honestly just take the stud shooters off and flip it around and it looks 100 times better. There's a carry handle on top for ease of use for picking up the gunship. It's clearly meant for smaller hands because my hands are kind of cramped in there between the two engine bits. Those engine bits of the gunship do also look very nice, and they're attached to these really thick, sturdy looking wings. This might just have to be my favorite set of the year. Overall, you guys can tell that I'm very, very happy with how it came out. The final build in hand looks great. I understand some people are saying it looks a little small from the side profile, but in person it doesn't look like that compared to the renders that Lego gave us on their website. This definitely has the position to take my favorite set of the year, and one of my favorite sets Lego has released in a long time, but I haven't gotten the Ghost yet, so we'll see. But right now, the gunship currently holds that title. It is absolutely worth picking up. For any Clone Wars fan or any prequel fan, you will be absolutely satisfied with this. The color looks so good. I cannot stress that enough. But I do agree that the price point is a little high. Well, that's enough gushing about this set. Like I said, as you can tell, I am so happy with how it came out. I know there's some slight issues with one of the minifigures, but overall, the build is fantastic. I think you guys are really going to love it. And I'm very curious to see how many of you guys are going to be picking up this set on September 1st. So what did you think of the Republic Gunship? Let me know in the comments down below, because that's all I've got, and I'll see you guys in the next video.